Ta-da! Hello. I already see we had some people waiting, so appreciate everyone joining us. Toby, thanks for. Wait, here's Toby's. I got to work on. Let me see here. Gallery, and that one's from Toby. They did. It reminded me when I saw this one's pieced together. So I took the one out and took the tree out and tried to pose them together. Like when I used to see the old like samurai movies and they would have like the cherry blossoms like falling all like in slow-mo or whatever, I was like, see exactly. And so I saw this and that's when I was like, okay, it had the pink and the white. So I wanted, sometimes you would see like the samurais, in that white with that same. So I was like, all right, how can I try to, capture that? And I think I got it going okay right here. The last thing I want to get to, I gotta learn some stuff about light. But I gotta do like some serious studies on a couple things because I want that like the bright light kind of coming through the trees and lighting up the ground in front and him sort of. But I think it's just one of those things where you have to really just take the time and light his shoulders correctly and light all the branches correctly in that. So I'll end up trying a few things. But this one was Toby's. Oh, and
The light from behind, so it's like he's charging out of the sun.
yeah, well, just I wanted it kind of coming down, and I'm like, okay, I gotta try to get and this is the one that I was like, well, it's probably more than I can chew on in this, but on the same hand, I learned I'm like, dude, if I start getting like afraid of something, then I just do it because I'm like, okay, this is what it's all about. Like, you give yourself a little pressure and like learn something, and don't start to wimp out now.
Well, just remember that fear is the mind killer.
It's very true. This one came out cool, and I don't even get high on my own work. Um, the well,
I tried.
and this one was just great because it was a photo, and usually I'd be like, okay, the whole looking up at it thing. He was already looking down, and so I was like, okay, well, what can I put on the ground? I was like, what can I get on the ground with this one? And it had the really nice golds already. I don't have it on a separate layer. Time lapse replay. So it was like this, and then copied. What do I do? I copy the like just a little bit of the base and I spread it around, and then I found some gold, and so I put it on there because I wanted him like looking at something like, all right, he had all his blood, and it was like after the battle, and he had the cigar, so I'm like, okay. I wasn't going to try to get like an enemy body in there, but I was like, okay, what could they have fought over or whatever? And since he had the cool gold on the shoulder pads, I was like, all right, it'll work in the composition to put like a pile of gold. And he also had the blood, kind of like on the shield. And I'm like, all right, I'll slop some of the blood, on the gold. And then, I put a couple different background things down. I wanted it kind of on a pile of rubble. And with the background, like I wanted at first I was trying to light it there, and because his arm is lit, I was wondering if the background should be darker. That's me trying a darker background almost in there just to kind of think about if I should have it dark so his shoulders pop out more. And so I was trying some stuff, and then I got some stalactite or whatever. Which ones are the ones on above? I don't know that.
And the
Yeah,
stalagmites are the one. Well,
yeah. So I got some stalactites, started working them in there.
hello, everybody in the chat as well.
Oh,
Echo.
yeah. Wow, a lot of people came in.
Crimson. Crimson!
Ledred, thanks for making it. Echo.
Sacre bleu, Ledred.
King Crimson made it. Thank you.
It's wicked cool.
Toby, thanks. This is absolutely fascinating. I've never seen digital painting before. Well, I'm happy we're your first.
Oh my god, he's going to be going on about this for ages now. Yeah, that's a
this is Echoes. So this one was Echoes that I was like, I think I told like 2 weeks or something. I was like, hey, I got to do this. And I kept seeing things and being misplaced. So I want to get some more good light on this one coming from them. Like they have a couple glowing, he's got the whatchamacallit here lens, and I'll put sort of the stuff on the scope and do this. I kind of want them like in that murky thing, but just with like a soft glow from their stuff, from their equipment.
The
So
Alpha Legion.
yeah, I thought this was really good, and it had the just different type of colors. Like the blue was really saturated in this, and I liked it. And so I was like, okay, and the base was set like that, and I'm like, all right, let me try something with those colors. And then I want that just kind of the glowing, the equipment from it. And then I'm scared of this one too. I don't know why I attempted all these. This one's hard with I love it, right? And then I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, as far as jumping, so I put a couple, like I found some ice, and I put that at the bottom, and then like wanted some trees in the kind of the background. So he's, I wanted the trees in the forest so it's a bit darker because he's kind of light, and I wanted to have the glow of the plasma in that. So I don't know if it's going to be getting shot at, or does it make it look like he's trying to run and jump into the water and drown? So
Well, it's cross for me. My first impression was like it's the dreadnought off the top turnbuckle,
yeah,
coming in
yeah,
with like belly splash. Take that, Orky. Um,
yeah.
or he's going for the touchdown.
And so I don't know if I'm hitting it, like the composition and what exactly is going on. I don't know if I'm hitting it with this one, or if I have enough time to kind of sort it or have them jumping into something or whatever. But I still love the mini. I'm like, all right, I want to try at least light it and all that. But I don't know what I'm going after fully.
Is the bottom the orc, is that a separate part or is that all connected?
No, that's literally in the model.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
I
and so I
was
kind of
thinking
was.
it's able to reposition that maybe, so it's like so he's going towards, but obviously if he's in that position,
Yeah. And if I
he's
had more orcs, I would put some orcs in front. You know what I mean? Like he's running at them and they're all on broken ice and all that. So
yeah,
that's probably like, the way I would kind of go if I had more in the front.
yeah. He's just gonna like he's basically gonna bowl himself into him.
Yeah, yeah. So I got some of that stuff done all last night, and then that way I figured I wouldn't be totally stressed out during the live show, even though I don't really get stressed. But I start babbling and not working, and then no one gets a finished paint over.
So is that it? So you finished then?
And the dread looks really good. Thank
Can't
you.
do no more paint over too much.
Yeah. So is anybody here working as are they hobbying at all while they watch? In my head, the ice is coming from a psychic power, and he's leaping on it.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
is coming from a psychic power, and he is okay. There. So what's been up with you, Lee? Well, it's been a whole week. See, no, because we talked in Discord a couple times, which was all surprising. Our Discord's hopping. We had like a few people in there. I'm like, whoa.
This is the third day we've spoken, which is
Yeah.
yeah, hanging out on the Discord. Oh, Scott and Crimson are on the Discord.
Yeah. Crimson was in there. It's always I enjoy talking. We just talk hobby or games or whatever, and then I'm working or something.
Yeah. What's something that's I knew today is I found out that some guy I used to know at school. Now, this is when I was about 11. Over here was our first year of secondary school. And at my particular school, the first year was the new year. They changed the uniforms. So we had the first year, but we didn't have a second year, third year. And then there was a fourth and a fifth,
Okay.
basically. Um, and then you'd leave after the fifth form sort of thing. So it was a fairly empty school because you just got like 200 kids in the first year, and then it's fourth and fifth. Instead of like having like 1,000 kids, you've only got 600 sort of thing. But what was weird was there was this fourth former who used to sort of, me and my friend, like lunch break or something, would come over to us and basically like give us like missions as if we was like like special agents and stuff like that. Which as kids you're playing a game, so it's like cool. Right. So I knew this guy's name, and like I've just always remembered that because it was just like one of those memories from school that was a bit different than just hanging out with your mates in your class.
Yeah.
It was an older kid who was spending time with us, and we was playing fun games sort of thing. So that guy turns out to be the guy that wrote the film Rogue One, Gary Whitta.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like, when I heard his name, I thought Gary Whitta. I looked up on his Wikipedia and said, oh, he was from London.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of details about his youth or anything like that. So I said, I suppose you were this same Gary Whitta that was at this school and did this sort of thing. And I got a reply this morning saying, yep, that was me.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh my God. It's just like, how crazy is that? Rogue One, one of the best sort of the recent bunch of
oh, for sure, in my opinion at least too.
And that was just like, this guy used to just hang out, like, we just hung out with him at lunchtimes occasionally to do these sort of like, oh yeah, we need to get hold of some like uranium to build a nuclear bomb to fight off the terrorists or something like that. Okay, yeah, we'll get the uranium. Don't worry, we're 11. We can get it. And it was just crazy because I was following him because of The Last Starfighter, because he's been trying to get that rebooted.
Oh, has he?
Yash. And he done a few years ago. There was a load of like conceptual art that was done, and he managed to get this guy to do it for him. I think it was a guy done concept art for Rogue One, funny enough.
Okay.
And basically told him what he wanted, and he'd done all these things. And they put this little teaser video out of all these images and stuff, trying to get people behind it. But he's that's his passionate thing. He's trying to do is get Starfighter done, which is cool.
It's been a while since I've seen The Last Starfighter. And if you are watching and you enjoy this, please hit that like button. It helps with all things algorithmic. Helps it spread the word. Loved Rogue One. Toby every day says, I bought a stack of back issues of Mortal Realms magazine to bolster my Stormcast and Night Haunt armies. I am currently sticking together Lady Oleander and some Bladegeist Revenants.
That's cool. Yeah, those collector magazines, very, very
SMC art. SMC art. Thanks for making it. And I saw you drawing on your stream. I stopped by your stream video. It wasn't the stream, but cool stuff. By the way, I was digging yours, so it was nice to check that out. Appreciate you swinging by. I see all these interesting things now. I'm not used to being all on social media, but you know what I mean? You interact with people and they pass things, and someone comments. I'm like, I have some art, and I happen to leave a comment, and I just go over there and look, and they draw on Procreate as well, and they had a couple cool videos up.
That's the thing, though. It's like through the social media, when this sort of things happens, it helps you out to find the things that you like.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you might be doing something that they appreciate. I'm trying to get myself back into.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I cannot work this camera. That's better. When you see like things, and I've followed people where they've liked one of my pictures, and I've thought, well, that sounds like an interesting tag name. So you look over, see what they've got on like Instagram or Twitter, and all that. You go, hey, this is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Just follow them back, which is always cool.
That's what I do too. Someone will do it, and I'm like, I don't know if I recognize that one, so I'll go check it out. And if they have like some, hobby content or whatever, I'll
Mm.
give it a follow.
Gosh.
Don't know what else you do with these leaves.
Pinkish white.
Like, I kind of want to go.
You could spend your life looking for the perfect cherry blossom, and it wouldn't be wasted.
Oh yeah.
From was it General Hatsumura from The Last Samurai?
I was gonna say, I think that was Last Samurai.
He was. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken
We all
Monotani.
know I'm the worst at lore. I can't have a lore show when it's just me because I'd be taken down for heresy or preaching falsehoods or something.
This
The
was a
lore
good.
people would be out to get me.
Oh, it's that Eru's. He's here again.
Eru, thanks for making it. Yeah, we got. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to talk in Discord the other day.
That was yesterday.
Yeah. Dude, they all just blend. They all just blend. It could have been a week ago, 3 days ago, or just yesterday. Any of those.
It was yesterday. So that's it. I'll handle the law and the timekeeping.
Yeah. I'll try to get the date right.
We're hoping on that. You get the Wednesdays right. That's what matters. All that matters.
All right, let's go with that.
This is why we can't have nice things. Toby was asking, how long does it take to get to grips with using digital painting suite like this?
With using a digital painting suite. So I started late with digital, and then I used a lot of Corel Painter for a while, but not really doing like I never did like a lot of I would call this like photoshopping, where you're kind of photo bashing and painting over stuff like that. I never really did this until what I think a year and a half ago when I started doing these paintovers, and I do it now in Procreate, and I just now feel like I'm getting the good hang of like my workflow of how I'll work through the process. But there's still, like I said, there's some things with handling lighting the object that I want to. I know like once I can. I'm grasping at some and getting what I want, but there's like somewhere I'm trying to get to, and I don't even know where it is. But I'll know it when I get it. Like when I can hit some other lighting stuff on this with the layer types. I need to there's obviously now there's really good tutorials and stuff online, and I know the program well enough where I have to take sort of a deep dive into some of those, because now when I learn the information I'll really be able to like process it and apply it because I understand it better. So I'm overdue for a nice deep dive into some techniques, and I got to get some more brushes and stuff as well.
Get all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
As actually, just funny enough, because I talked about getting cool stuff. I ordered myself some more BattleTech models.
Did you? Mechanical Frog painted some, I think it was like metallic silver, and was it like a red or a pink? But anyway, I think I retweeted it earlier, and I thought that was a pretty cool one on BattleTech that I haven't seen or BattleTech.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter or Instagram a lot today because of work has been absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Having to do lots of stuff in store to keep it, operational and stuff. So I'll have to float through later on and check it.
Do they? Is your work? Is it busy?
Well, it's busy, but it's also because it's a two-man store basically. It's my boss
Okay.
and
Yeah. Oh, Lee might have froze. Chrome and red is what Mechanical Frog said for his BattleTech. House Curita Lance. Oh gosh, I gotta find my BattleTech book. House Curita was mentioned in the first BattleTech book, wasn't it?
that's my Inner Sphere house. If I was doing Inner Sphere, it would be House Curita.
Okay.
Purely because of the I remember seeing some of the old artwork where you had a House Curita jump ship, and as the ship comes into like system, it's towing a huge like banner of its symbol, like the dragon in red.
Yeah,
It's like a Mortal Kombat symbol, but reversed, because was it Mortal Kombat one is red on black, whereas Kirita is black on red. So as it flies in, it puts its colours out, and it's like a parachute basically, but it's a
yeah,
House Kirita symbol behind it. And I just thought, oh, that looks cool. And it's similar to this to well, say my clan. My clan is a clan Ghost Bear, and it was because of the game they brought out on PC in the 90s, Ghost Bear's Legacy, and they had like the most badass sort of coldest sort of thing they used to broadcast when their ships came into an inner sphere
yeah.
system. They would basically go, "Okay, we are the Ghost Bears. Tell us who you are, so you can be remembered after we kill you." Basically, um, and it was just like pure cold blooded. Like we're not messing about here. I like that. So yeah, Kirita and Ghost Bear. If you would flirt with Xenos, what house is that then? I flirt with everyone. Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing.
Oh, the blossom is falling.
I know I want to do a couple brighter ones. I don't know where to get the pink. I don't know if I should do like a couple almost like little plants with pink leaves in the foreground, or like a couple pink flowers. I'm trying to
No,
think
no,
of.
I'd say if anything, have more blossom on the petals on the ground.
Okay.
To
Yeah,
have
yeah.
it like that. It's like make it all about the blossom, the cherry blossom.
Okay, good point. Yeah, I like that one because I don't have any on the ground. See, good.
Because cherry blossom is the symbol of the warrior.
Learn something.
Lee, you said picky. No, I'm not picky. Don't get very far if you're picky, son.
Yeah, there's something about that. Oh, did this just freeze up? No. Okay. You got any plans for the weekend?
Um, nah, not really.
Gotcha.
A bit of work. I want to try and get some more playing some more Destiny, because I need to get some more points up for my clan. You know, get those strike missions done, um, and obviously do some hobby on the weekend. So,
Dun, dun,
uh,
dun.
which yeah, I've got to sort that out as well. What to do? Just so much to do.
So
So
much
little.
to do.
Um, Are we allowed to print and frame these pictures when they're done? My social media following is predominantly Japanese, so I'll definitely be sharing this with them. They'll
Um,
love it.
yeah, absolutely, Toby. I will usually like a day or two after, sometimes three. I'll post the higher res version, and you can, you know what I mean, print it or do whatever you want. I I even sell some. So like if you get one of these print overs, I have a printer and stuff. It can ship you a big one up to, I don't even know what it is, like 20 inches. I think I usually go 18. Usually it's like 12 by 18 or 12 by 16 inches is I think that's no, I think it's even bigger. I'll have to look. It might have been 16 by 18. But anywho, one that's about that size, I can get those printed up if someone ever wants one after a paint over. Dun, dun,
Yeah, no, it's
dun.
definitely worth having, because they do look rather awesome as they are on the screen.
You know
But
what? I do. I print them out, and it's different when you do see it printed. Like, you know what I mean? I'll print them. I'm like, okay, that's, you know, I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know, and especially I notice when I put like 4 or 5 of them together, I like them more. You know, I'll put mine together. I'm like, okay, you know, that's kind of cool. When I put a few together, I'm like, all right, that's like it's nice that way to me. I have to see them in like a big group where I'm kind of like,
I know. So I've had like friends who have had like their commissions where they've
yeah,
gotten artists to like paint their like the D&D characters, or their like one of my friends, well, a couple of my friends actually do a lot of commission
yeah.
like purchases for like I say like their Mass Effect 3 posse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Their characters painted up and all that sort of stuff from a very whole host of people. Um, I had one done. My friend David Sondered, who I think I mentioned before, he does a lot of work for Games Workshop, like doing artwork for them, and he done a commission of me as a House Tyrannus Knight
Oh yeah.
pilot, which was pretty cool.
Totally
Right.
glad you like it. Appreciate you stopping in. Very cool. Like I just it had that old school. I like the ones that just whatever kind of half triggers my imagination. Or I think I like told Lee, it's like some of these I get intimidated by them, but I'll intentionally pick some that I'm scared of, just because it's like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And try to figure it out. But thanks for posting it. What is? Oh, that's the back of that tree. It's this one. Wait, no, this part. Okay. And then the stuff for Mantic, it's not in the rule book for Dead Zone 3, but I think they have like a supplement book coming out with the individual kind of armies in it. And I'm pretty sure my stuff is going to be in there. And I saw their rule book and they passed me one along. I'm digging it's like you can tell that like they're developing the world more and more, and their stuff, it's not all grim. There's like a more wide open sci-fi, so there's a lot of different things um, that they're kind of doing with the artwork and stuff that flies in it, because you can get kind of grim and dark and industrial, or you can get more clean and polished than that. So I can just tell like their artwork and that whoever they got doing for a lot of the illustrations for that was really sharp stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like when you're trying to sort of make a sort of a universe within like model war game sort of thing. It's a bit hard because obviously you've got Games Workshop out there with like 40 years, so
That's it. It takes
they've covered everything. And
Yeah, and it's like the business equivalent of what I do with paintovers. Like you just get better over time. You know what I mean? It's like refine the product, keep building it. And they're new dwarves. That's what I was all pumped. I'm like, oh, dude, this is so cool that I got to do some work in there, because I was really digging the models that they were putting out. They were talking about, they got the new sculptors and just like more stuff that they're going with, and they've been putting out some really cool stuff. They had some dwarves come out that I liked. Their battle suit for the dwarf, it's like it's almost like a dreadnought looking thing, and I like the proportions because they did it a little funky, where it's like this the chest heavy. There's more chest on it and smaller legs, and I was kind of digging that look.
oh yeah, but I think everyone has their sort of own ideas of how things should look.
Yeah,
Um, Sometimes like or just to sort of tie in with what Mechanical Frog is saying there about saying that the board game market is saturated at this point is a vast understatement. There are so many games out there and model makers and everything. You can find whatever you want wherever you want if you look hard enough, sort of thing. And like going to like events like Salute, or even like Adepticon and all that sort of thing.
yeah,
Uh, you're sort of you meet so many sort of different sort of gamers and everything.
yeah,
There's a game for everybody, but it's finding one that you sort of can stay with. And the thing about Games Workshop is that because of the law, most hobbyists always return because of the lore.
100%. Yeah, I could for sure.
It's not 100% great at times, that
No,
they
no, but it's just you're still
retcon things
drawn
quite
to
a
it.
lot.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean. You're still just drawn to what's going on in this and everything. And it, my thing is, I think I like. I remember, when I was just first start getting into it, the lore wasn't so defined. So for me, you know what kind of deep dives I do on lore. It's like a little puddle jump. But so that's why like little tidbits and just things that prick my imagination almost do better than the really deep built out things. You know what I mean? Because I'm almost looking at a more general overall like look and feel and that stuff and just little snippets than like the hardcore stuff. I gotta listen to another one. Um I can't remember the one I just started listening to for 40K right now. But I literally paused it after like a few pages because of course the dog was all coming in and I forgot to get back to it. But I'm gonna be listening to another audio book from 40K. All right, let me get to work. I'll work on more on another one. Let me get. I put the smoke on him. I was just debating if I should make a little bit of sparkle or am I just trying to tempt fate, dude? But every
All right,
time I
you
see
get
one of
to
these,
26 in Sparkle Bingo.
yeah,
Um,
but he's got gold. Anytime you give me this little gold, I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, does it kind of? I put some light. So if we look at this one, I put. Where did I put the highlights? Oh, here. So I put on the top of the
where
gold.
do I leave the highlights?
I put a little shine, and I was wondering just like, do I put like a little sparkle? A little
The
sparkle. There we go.
sparkles, though.
Sparkle.
It's got sparkles.
Let me do it. Let me see.
Oh, that gold. I love gold.
I don't know. I know. And the gold worked out in this picture. It needed it in the composition, and I think it when the black border, I added the black border. I'm like, oh, okay, that helps it totally pop. Oh, that's kind of cool. It did need a little bit of sparkle. Can't really see it, but it's lightening that up. I can dig it. You working on Titan this weekend?
Yeah. um, although it depends if my BattleTech stuff comes through.
Oh yeah.
I might do BattleTech for a change. They're, they are really easy to do.
You
So
haven't. Yeah, you haven't played any BattleTech in a while, have you?
no, I haven't played BattleTech since the last millennium.
Okay. Yeah. So
I
ditto.
love the background. I love the stories. And there used to be a place in London called Virtual World where it was a computer game of BattleTech. But the cool thing about it was, and this is going back to about 1996, 97, you'd go there and they had these they were like pods. You climb inside them, you shut the door, and then you had like the screen in front of you. You had the cool sort of pilot-y seat, throttle, joystick. They had all these buttons in front of you and everything, sort of thing. And
Yeah.
they had you could have 4-on-4.
Oh yeah,
In,
I did those. I'm gonna try to find. Did you guys get the printed up battle report after?
yeah.
Oh, see, I'm gonna try to find mine because mine was awesome because I was number one. Yeah.
The only sheet I've got was when I took, because I've been going for a little while on my own, like traveling to
Yeah.
London, spend like a bit of time there. And this place was set up. It was like not not a gentleman's club, but it was like a very sort of good sort of place. It had like the paneling. It had
Oh
library.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like
It
I
had
know what you mean.
leather armchairs and stuff. So it was really really like sophisticated.
Yeah.
And like the whole idea was like you'd have a game, you'd come out, you'd hang out at one of the tables and have some food and just chat and stuff. But the last time that I said I've got the printout was when I took my friends with me down there, and because I had been there before, I was the target because they thought, oh, he's played it, he knows what he's doing, let's kill him, get him out of the way. And so I was being targeted, but it was quite funny. I was being chased because in that BattleTech you had the two settings. You had the basic, but if you flicked a switch that was above the screen, you could change to advanced, which basically meant you steered with your feet.
Yeah,
And,
and you could turn your torso and run one way.
also,
And of course, I did that. That's what, dude.
I was being chased by my friend Norman, and he was shooting me, sort of thing. And so I thought, oh, sod this. I flicked the advance thing, started steering with my feet, and then I torso twist, and all I heard was from through the comms was, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
As I turned around and alpha striked him. But Toby, every day. Did you ever go to Alien War in the basement of the Trocadero building in the Piccadilly service? I have a vague memory of these pods that you're talking about. Yeah, so interesting fact about Alien War, I auditioned for it, and we had to, I was 18, I got there early, it was right at the front of the queue to get in. There was literally one guy in front of me, and we had to go to Planet Hollywood to have our sort of auditions.
Yeah.
And in the front of the queue, several of the guys, you get talking to the guys around you, and there was a couple of guys there. One of them, Steve, was 6'6" or 6'4", sorry, well built, short hair. He looked like a Marine. There was Doug. He too looked like a veteran. He looked like the guy out of Predator. Do you know the one with the grenade launcher? Hairy eyebrows, sort of thing. He looked like him, and there was this other guy, Anthony, who was again 6'6", something like that. Who was a big black man, powerfully built, nicest guy you would ever talk to. Very soft spoken, but he was like, you look at him and you go, whoa. And then there was, another one called Stuart, and so, and we all got talking, chatting, and everything like that, right? And then we said, afterwards, let's all go down the pub. We got on really well. We also got interviewed by the TV that was coming down because there was people there dressed as Colonial Marines, and the local sort of television studio company.
I gotcha.
Talked to us and all that. Gone in, we've done our auditions and all that. And basically, because I was starting college that day, and my college didn't start until the afternoon, and I sort of chickened out of hanging around and going to the pub. So I left because I thought, well, one, I need to go to my new college that I'm starting today.
Yeah.
Two, I'm a student. I have no money, so I can't buy anything in a pub. And I don't go to a pub if I can't buy drinks, if you know what I mean, for a round or something. So I left. Now, out of those people, that group of people at the front, 3 of them got the job, sort of thing. Doug ended up being the manager at Alien War. Steve was like the face, and a few other people. And recently, through Facebook, I got in contact with Doug because I was talking on one of my friends' Facebook walls, and Alien War got mentioned, and I just said, "Oh, I was second in the queue for that," and he's jumped in and gone, "I was third." I went, "Whoa!" Yeah. And I went, "Oh my God, it's you! Yeah, I remember you," sort of thing. And what happened after that is obviously all the guys that got jobs there, they all sort of stayed in contact fairly good, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Loads of them went on to careers in film and stuff. Like Doug worked on Harry Potter. He worked on Reign of Fire because he got into special effects.
Yeah.
And he done so much stuff. It's like everything. And Steve, he's done loads of crap as well. And they've all and in 2 years' time, it's the 30th anniversary of Alien War, and I'm actually involved in it as well because they took pity on me because I didn't get the job, and I didn't turn up to the pub because they always remembered me as where's that dude who didn't turn up? But in 2 years' time, we're actually doing like an alien con in south of England, and we will be like getting like loads of things, all aliens and everything there.
Yeah.
But we will also be doing like redoing Alien War, where this place is going to be set. So with all like the original cast members and stuff coming back, and like they're all getting their armor made and painted and stuff. It's crazy. It's like we're mobilizing a military unit. But yeah, so and I will have the opportunity to finally do what I could have done if I bothered to turn up to the pub, because they kept on saying, if you had turned up to the pub, we would have had your phone.
Yeah.
Because after it opened, we pretty much like we could employ anyone. We would like give you a call and say, "Hey, do you want a job here?" And I could have gone and worked there. But it was absolutely mental. This place, it scared the crap out of thousands of people over the course of its.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Oh, shivers.
Overton, thanks for making it. Same with you, Rob. Appreciate you stopping in.
Jeez, I ranted for about 10 minutes there. Sorry.
No, you're all right. We're allowed.
Yes. But yeah, it was the #1 attraction in London for the year.
Maybe I heard of it at the time, but I forgot.
I'll send you a link because there's loads of like, little videos and stuff. Because when they opened it, they had Sigourney Weaver come down.
Yeah, you told me that before.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
So you had the stars of Alien 3 came down to do the thing, and there's also if you're a fan of aliens, there's a book like the Colonial Marine Technical Manual.
Okay.
That was made, and there's like all the information about like pulse rifles, all the other equipment and stuff, like the dropship, the APC, and everything like that. And there's a guy in there wearing the armor, modeling it. That's Doug. He was the guy I was in the queue with, who done all this because, like, again, he was like one of the main guys running the operation down there.
Yeah.
And I just as of earlier in the week, on the aliens group, that's all like for the old cast members and all that sort of stuff. Stephen, who's organising the whole events and stuff, he's been speaking to this guy at Disney because they own Fox, and Fox owns all the rights to Alien and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's now got it that technical manual that was produced is actually canon. It's now official canon. So, and Doug is Colonel Doug McCarthy. So when that was posted up, it was like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" And so
it's kind of cool.
I commented on it. So what you're saying and what I'm hearing is that Doug is now a Disney princess. I just knocked up a little picture of all the Disney cartoon princesses, and I've superimposed him in it. Oh yeah, but no, it was such a great attraction. They had like famous people go in there. Michael Jackson went to
whatever. Go. You guys already had all the Warhammer stuff. How come you guys got alien stuff too? That's not cool. That's not even your thing. That's another BS thing. That's BS.
Alien.
I didn't get to go to Warhammer World. I'd have to hear about, I used to just walk down to Games Workshop and I would go get all this cool stuff where I'm in America getting hand-me-downs from all these other countries and like getting scraps. It'd be like some old scraps would come through and I'd have to treat them like gold.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Really, right place, right time.
Yeah,
and then
like, life.
All characters in Aliens are American, so there was only I think only a couple of English guys as Marines.
Yeah,
there was Wizbasky. He was English. He was.
Who was the android? Was he English or no?
Well, in Alien, the original one that was Ian Holm. He's Welsh, I think. Ian Holm.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously, in Alien, you also had oh crap, who played Kane? Oh damn it, John Hurt. Not is it John Hurt? Yeah, John Hurt. He's obviously English, but everyone else was American.
Okay.
But yeah, the what do you call it? The yeah, in Aliens, you was all they interviewed like auditioned English actors, but obviously he'd
Yeah.
never. He got all the Americans in there. And obviously,
I love.
because Hicks was James Remar.
Yeah, it's kind of like an underrated role. It's the guy who was from Mad About You, who played the
Oh,
corporate representative. I thought he was underrated because he just the actor was always fine with me. I'm like, oh, you play such a conniving little whatever in that movie. It was just great, I'm like, you were actually frustrating me. I know you're a fake character.
there was I think there was a part of Alien where up to a certain level, like you could understand what Carter Burke did by obviously
Yeah,
some woman's just come out of hypersleep for 57 years saying that there's aliens on this planet which they're on, and
yeah,
then he's gone sent a message to them saying, "Can you go check out these grid coordinates for us?"
yeah.
And so, in a way, he's following procedure in a sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah. You could see the motivation and not
yeah,
knowing and whatever.
I can get promotion through this information, but obviously he didn't warn them
Oh, we got
because
Martin's name dropping. He went to the same art college as Ridley. We have to get that in there. I encourage. Yeah, I like that one. That's a little obscure lore. I went to the same college as Ridley.
yeah, but it's really really cool. Like with the way he portrayed the character, because he was like you liked him at the start because the way he was trying to sort of care for Ripley, sort of thing.
Yeah,
He seemed quite genuine, and then he's done that, and I understood his reasoning. Like you've just come out of high school. I don't know. I just sent this message out there. It was a
yeah.
bad, which it was. But then it was the whole face hugger thing in the room when she was sleeping.
Oh,
And
yeah,
yeah, after he'd done that, you just think, you burn in hell.
yeah,
And you do that to our Ripley and new
yeah,
Rebecca Jordan with that
yeah.
Dolliver's doll
I
head.
always, I always liked, just growing up, Ripley's character because I thought it was brilliantly done. Like they always in my mind, if you do like a quote unquote hero, it was cool because she wasn't like a ninja fighter who had to single handedly beat up aliens to be awesome. You know what I mean? It was like someone you could see as a real hero. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, that it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go and beat all these aliens up. It was like you had to be smart and be like it's dangerous. You're just trying to stay alive. You're not trying to like whatever. And I always just that to me was one of those quintessential like storytelling like moments, or like if I ever had a character, like what you try to capture. I was like, I really dug that about Ripley. I thought it was like one of the best ever.
Well, yeah, she basically just got shit done.
Yeah, for
uh,
real.
I was watching the couple of weeks ago the making of Aliens, and you know that the power loader,
Yeah.
right? that was a suit. There was a guy in it. So where
Oh,
he was standing, there was a guy in the suit behind her, like helping with the walking sort of thing.
yeah.
But obviously the arms were or whatever sort of thing. But it was just crazy because you look at it, you go, there was a guy in the suit. It's crazy
Yeah.
how that all worked out in that. But yeah, there was so much awesomeness coming out. I remember watching it. I've watched that film, must be like 100 times easily. It's just one of those films you can just
Yeah.
shut off. You know what's going to happen, but you still want to see Hudson having a meltdown and
Yeah.
Vasquez being badass,
That's
and
fantastic.
Drake who died too soon.
No.
It was really awesome.
Oh wait, I'm taking that one off. That's right up there. Thanks for letting me know you're digging that. Yeah, I don't. I whenever I do this upsets me too. I love these swamp ones, right? And I'm like, okay, this one had really cool colors on it, and I always imagine some um lightning bugs floating around. I don't know how to pull off a lightning bug. Like I don't know, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to one time like sit down and like get some reference. Be like, okay, how would I pull off a lightning bug and how would it work? And so I always want to put like some light because you can put them in, but if you're not done right, it's like, well, what's that glowing stupid dot? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, how do I? So one time I'm gonna tackle lightning bugs in here.
The Alien Queen was 4 guys on a scaffolding rig covered in bin bags.
Mm.
There was actually, I think there was 2 guys actually in the chest to do the arms. Like each had control of one arm, like the small like T-Rex arms at the front, and they had to cover them over and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was just like a very ambitious project. I was Acton Power Station where they filmed that. I saw earlier Toby was talking about Milton Keynes, and they done Metropolis in Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, which they also used Battersea Power Station for a fight scene, which was quite weird because Battersea Power Station is a very iconic thing along the Thames. So it's like this
Oh yeah.
1950s, 60s power station, like coal-fed power station, which has these 4 chimneys at each corner of it. Iconic sort of thing. But they basically superimposed it into a field in like Kansas, something like that. So you just like this field and you see Battersea Power Station sitting there, which is just weird. But yeah, they filmed all around the place. So this is like Milton Keynes and stuff. I remember seeing that they actually had a sign written van as the people were driving around checking out for potential filming areas.
Oh, locations, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Gosh. And another thing with being over here and being involved in all the cool stuff. my
Another thing I wanted to tell you that you missed out on was this.
yeah. My mate Andy was in Alien. In Aliens. It was like one of the kids around Hadley's Hope. He actually had a speaking part, which was "Let's go," but I cut it. But he said he was in Aliens, but nobody believed him because there was no kids in Aliens, and it wasn't until the special edition came out
Oh
you
yeah.
saw there were kids there. And he actually is. You see him in the background as the commander dude's going around. He tells the kids off for mucking the plane in the halls and stuff. And he's like wearing all denim. You can just see him in the background, but you see his legs running alongside the kid on the trike.
Oh, you didn't happen to watch that with the whatchamacallit, yeah, the making of Galaxy Quest or whatever?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh
No.
yeah. So I don't know why I wanted to brought it up. We had viewers and I'm like, yeah, make sure if you liked Galaxy Quest, watch that making of video. It's pretty cool. I like that one a
On
lot.
YouTube.
So I don't know where it is. No, I thought it was like Amazon or it's one of those.
I'll check through on that because
Yeah, but it's a really good one. I was
ever.
yeah.
It's like the Orville. I watched the Orville, and that is like the best Star Trek series.
Mm-hmm. You know what? There was some good ones in that Orville.
Mm.
It was a really good. Star Trek.
Toby just mentioned about the in Aliens, the love that the colony commander is played by the captain of Red Dwarf in the pilot episode, right? And they were talking about this the other day, or the other week, about that it's the same character, and I put in the thing that have you ever watched Red Dwarf, Scott?
I don't. If I did, I don't remember. It sounds familiar, but we all know how I think.
Yeah, it's a British sci-fi comedy thing.
Yeah, so that I have, but I'm unfamiliar. Let me put it that way. But I if that's the case, then yes.
Right, well, those in the chat that know of Red Dwarf, basically, I put forward the idea that the captain of Red Dwarf is actually the same character that was in um, Aliens as the camp commander, and he's playing the game better than life. And it ties in because in Red Dwarf there was an episode called Better Than Life, which is about a virtual reality game where it is like it is so realistic, it's unbelievable. And yeah, there's a whole episode where they're playing this game, and lots of crazy stuff happens. um, yeah, he was. I just put that forward that he was actually the captain of Red Dwarf playing that game. So Aliens is actually part of Red Dwarf.
Huh. All right, I will. Toby even said I have to check it out. Insanely funny but genuinely compelling sci-fi stories. All right, cool.
Let's get.
And where are we?
Yeah, you'll probably enjoy Red Dwarf. It's so off the wall,
Yeah.
like, and well, it's very old now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, that's.
Late
I was.
80s, early 90s.
I remember being young and wait, over here. I forget what channel had it, but it was just Doctor Who, but it was a Doctor Who with the scarf, and
Tom Baker.
yeah, and I just remember I don't know what age I was seeing it at. I probably somewhere between like 7 and 10. I don't know. I started seeing it, and it just blew my mind because I knew it was something foreign, and I didn't even really like I guess understand foreign. I was like, what's going on with this? Like it's just a different feel than like American TV, and I always like that like trying some shows from different countries because they just like have a different feel, you know what I mean? And even back then I was like, okay, this feels so different, and it was like just so like just something wild to me. I remember that was
There's one like sci-fi series from the mid late 70s which had quite a huge influence on everything else since then. It was a series called Blake Seven, and
I've heard of it.
a lot of J. Michael Straczynski has said about Blake Seven being an influence on his
Gotcha.
story, because it was like one of the first shows like he could remember watching where they weren't afraid to kill characters, popular characters,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And like the premise is basically Blake was there's this federation, not like Starfleet Federation. This is the Federation, all encompassing. We're in
Yeah.
charge, and Blake was this like war hero, but he sort of turned against the Federation, and he had a popular like following because he was like this, as I said, this hero, and people listened to him, and they needed to like get rid of him. They couldn't just outright kill him because then it'll make him a martyr, and
Yeah.
so they basically had his like put him on charges and all that of basically not only treason but also being a paedophile, right? And for like a Saturday afternoon, early evening
Yeah.
sci-fi which kids are going to watch, it was like, "Mum, what's a paedophile?" And it was really like hard in that respect. Admittedly, all the planets they went to that you see them land on were in rock quarries, but still, they had some really sort of like out there sort of characters, and like one of the main characters, Avon, who is probably he's probably the archetypal narcissist, where
Yeah.
it's all about he's really intelligent, smart, and everything, but he doesn't do anything for nothing and stuff like that sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
he's thinking about himself a hell of a lot. But everybody loved him. He was just like a really sort of like anti-hero character that everyone just liked because he would just again like say it how it was, and would always go against Blake and his ideas and stuff, and always like rise up against it. But it was such a great like the sci-fi in it was good. Some of the model making, perhaps a little bit sort of like it looked like a box with some bits added on it, flying.
Well, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but it was it was great. I actually watched it a few years ago, and I thought, it it doesn't look good now.
Well,
It's
that's what
45 years old.
I
Yeah,
want to rewatch the latest Battlestar from whatever it was, like 10, 15 years ago, and see how it
yeah.
holds up because I loved it at the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Battlestar was just fantastic.
I was like, oh gosh, I love the concept of sci-fi, but a lot of it I just don't like. I'm like, it's like, oh, okay, it's like doesn't something's like feels too quirky or whatever. But I must say, more and more, what was the one? It's not sci-fi, but it's a zombie one. I think is it Black Sun or something on Netflix that I liked, and I'm not all into zombie stuff, but it's like super fast, kind of paced. It's not like a lot of them. They're more like this one. It feels like, dude, you're really on the run from zombies. Like this is like no dicking around. You gotta like get away from these things. So it's like it's kind of the pace of the series. So it's not a lot of like sitting around trying to build a village or something. Like you're trying to survive these things.
Well,
That's
that's sort
pretty
of
cool.
28 days later.
Oh, that again, I don't even like. I don't. I would. That's not necessarily like horror, but it's really not even one of my things. I freaking love that movie, and even the next one. I thought that was a brilliant take on it.
They're 28 weeks later. There was going to be a third one, which was 28 months later, but
Yeah,
that never happened.
I
But
thought there was a third one.
was there?
I would have swore there was. Yeah, I'll have to look. But I'm pretty sure
Uh,
there's a third one.
but yeah, Overton, the wife and I are watching a lot of Korean series on Netflix. Really nice
Yeah,
scenes and things, and they're really well produced. Yeah,
I've tried a few Korean ones too. There's ones like there was this wild one. I don't even know how I ended up watching it. I think it was South Korean, and it was something like in the 80s when the Olympics went there. And it was like I don't even know what the show was about, but I watched like two of them. It was just like the kids living in the neighborhood. And it wasn't like a documentary or anything. It was like a made up show, but it was something about like that whenever the Olympics was there way back in the day. And it was just like I like the little slice of life shows just because it gives you just like a glimpse of their culture or what they think is, you know what I mean, like how it just looks or views or their sense of humor or something like that.
yeah, yeah. No, so they are really well done. Again, it's like where because I was always a fan of anime from like
Yeah.
from around. I think it was around about '86 when I first saw Nausicaa, which was the Warriors of the Wind, which was also Warriors of the Valley of the Wind.
Yeah.
Um, and my brother taped it off of a satellite channel. He used to give me videos with like films on there, so like Top Gun and and this. And I first watched that, and it was the first anime I ever watched, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then from there, it was like Akira and Bubblegum Crisis, and then like a whole host of them. When I sort of moved out of my home and went out on my own, made friends, and we were all sort of like-minded role players, gamers, and anime fans. So we was like watching all like these films and. Like, oh, have you seen this one? No, I haven't seen that. I've seen that one, sort of thing. And spend the evening watching like anime movies and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's like then the Japanese always had that sort of theme, which came from Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. There's so much Blade Runner in the earlier animes,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
but yeah, the Koreans do some really interesting sort of shows, especially like films recently, which are like they won Oscars for. That was it, the Last Train to Busan, I think, or
Oh yeah, yeah, I did hear of that one.
stuff like that. It's and what was the Parasite as well.
Yep, you're right. That one too.
So there's some great stuff out there to sort of get your teeth into, or maybe avoid getting teeth into. Oh, they don't taste well. Um, but yeah, it's nice, and you get some interesting stories from there as well. It's the same. Yeah, it's fantastic. They're probably a bit better than something like the American stuff we get, because it is a lot of it is seems to be like rehashed.
Yeah,
Um,
the it bums me out with a lot of the American stuff. It's always like almost always a bunch of like pretty people, right? So it'll be no matter what, it's like always a whole and I'm like, okay, that already just loses my suspension of disbelief. You know what I mean? Where everybody is like all hot and whatever. It's like, okay, you lose me. Like, give me something a little more. Like, put some real people or make it look like And then a lot of it, it's like the American style lighting. They'll light everything the same, and they have the same like story pace to it because they're like, well, all our algorithms and test audiences think they need this moving this quick and that and stuff. And so a lot of the American stuff gets a little formulaic for me.
there's one film in the last, say, 10 years that I've seen, which is American made, and it goes against a lot of the American stereotypes for the genre it's set, which was horror. Um, which
Yeah.
is
I just want to
tough.
say, yeah, Toby, that's how I see it too. As soon as they get what works, they key in all those metrics and they keep abusing it till the metrics change and then they readjust. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a film called Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
I
see
haven't
it.
seen it because I haven't been. I think it's not on the American Netflix or something like that. I heard good things though.
Definitely have a look around, because it's oh Jesus, monkeys. Alan Turdyke is in it, who plays K2SO in Rogue One. So we're back around. Or also played Wash in um, uh, Firefly. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil totally flips the whole beautiful people going to a cabin in the woods and being murdered by hillbillies. All right, totally flips it around.
Don't
All
get
right,
murdered by hillbillies in the
yeah,
woods.
because the premise of this is these two hillbillies are going up to their cabin in the woods, and there just so happens to be a carload of young, sexy sort of students coming out to see it,
Yeah,
going to a cabin in the woods, and how their paths cross.
exactly what happens in real life.
Yeah, and it's completely it's looking from the hillbillies' point of view, because like when we've seen like those like murder hobos in the forests of the Appalachian Mountains and all that sort of stuff, it's always like the young and they're being hunted by these guys, and these two guys are just there trying to do up this holiday home that they've got, sort of thing, and all the stuff is just purely accidental and there's nothing to do with them. You know, is that they're even like one stage they're breaking down crying, going, "Why are these people killing themselves?" He's really hilarious. Oh, Engine Phil.
Yep. Thanks for making it, Engine Phil.
Mm.
What? No, Engine Phil. Did Engine Phil put one in? Someone dropped a Titan in.
Oh, that was Rob Walter.
Oh, Rob's, yeah. He says he's gonna get some different angles. Which, yeah, if you get that one's a really cool one. You get that one of those good angles on there.
It'll
Who
go well
had
with that.
one?
Is
Someone Luton. He didn't even put it in here or anything, but I saw Luton. I love Luton's blue, whatever he uses for his ultramarine blue, and he had a awesome dreadnought running because it had good shadow and stuff like that. And I almost grabbed that one to do on one of the live streams. I got this weekend. I think I'll be here and I'm going to do for so the Patreon supporters. I did one where I got to ask for picks a few more times, but they sent in some picks, so I'm going to take a couple of those and I'm going to do a live stream with painting over some Patreon member stuff. So that'll be my weekend live stream.
I just noticed Martin's The Great Potato Mage's joke about how do reavers clean their weapons.
What does it do?
They put them through a wash.
Oh.
Or the wash. Oh, yeah. So, again, apparently I have heard tell of maybe a Firefly reboot or a series based in the Firefly universe.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that sometime because they can't resist rebooting everything.
Mm. Yeah, there's that.
Oh,
There was also Battlestar reboot as well.
Toby, I think is Toby. You hang out with a lot of the Japanese crowd on Twitter. If you find anybody, I see some stuff in there, and I'll do some of the translate or whatever. But if you know some of them that like put out good content or like 40K and paint miniatures, like feel free to like I don't know tag me in some names or whatever because I want to follow a few of them more because I feel like I'm missing some stuff. And I noticed, I don't know if it's like the Japanese, a little bit of aesthetic of that culture. There's a lot more, they have their own variation of painting often or style that I notice. I can't pinpoint what it is. And I noticed it, there's some great ones that just like I won't know what mechs they are, right? But they'll paint some just amazing mechs with like the crew sitting in them, and they have all this stuff, and it's like because of like the I don't know whatever the culture difference is, or it's not like the same games or whatever. So I notice it's like a little different. I dig it. Okay, cool, Toby. Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely want to follow some. Um, Question for Scott: do you feel pressure to do something when we tag you as you should look at this, or do you? Oh yeah, no, spread the word. That doesn't. No, I dig that, especially like someone like you and I've interacted with a lot. I have no problem with that. I don't. I'm not. I'm not swamped with popularity where I can't get back to everybody. So I actually appreciate it because you all know kind of what I'm looking for and stuff. So I dig it actually.
Yes. Go forth, his
I'm
minion.
not that big on my bridges yet.
Go, my flame monkeys.
Please don't tag me. I have far too many people trying to get my attention.
Oh, I had that on Twitter once. Electric Eve, who you'd done a paint over of one of her things that she'd done for Leaky Cheese, the Orc Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And it was in a conversation. It was on a post, and the conversation just kept on going. And because it's her post, she kept getting she had loads and loads of notifications, and eventually she just. Look, I don't mind you hanging out here, but can you just untag me from this sort of thing?
Oh yeah, I could see. Some of those. I don't like. I think when some of those bigger accounts, like it would start being hard to function. You know what I mean? Because you hit some, you're getting so many alerts and stuff. It would be kind of insane.
Mm. Yes. Echo's asking. I think you're talking about the Gunpla with the.
Yes, that I remember that one. That one was one of them, so I do remember that name. Yeah.
Yes. The Gundam. Actually, I watched last year Gundam Unicorn.
I seen a couple. They have a couple Gundams on Netflix, I think, and I never watched them. I don't know what my deal is with anime. I think because I'm old, there was something where like when it was like Ghost in the Shell and even like Akira and like those were it. And then I loved what was one that come like later, like Ninja Scroll. I thought was one of my all time favorite. Like I thought that was brilliant. And then some of them just got to me really weird. It was like a different and I think too the animation style started getting really super loose and exaggerated where I preferred a little more like when they used to do like the mechs and the cityscapes and all that stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this blows my mind. And then when they were going looser, I was kind of like, oh, you're losing me. So some of it, I've um Berserk, I thought was really graphic but pretty darn cool. Like I was like, all right, that was pretty trippy. So I watched some Berserk just on, I don't know, I think at some point that was on Netflix. And but there's a couple. I was gonna watch, what's the one with like the huge, they're not zombies, but they're like the big, they look like they don't have any skin and they're huge.
On
But
Titans, Attack
yeah,
on Titans.
yeah. I was thinking about watching that one.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing about Attack on Titan. If it actually had a Titan in it, those Titans would be dead. I guarantee it.
It just killing me.
Um, I was saying Martin's got the RG Unicorn kit from in the pile, which I was actually the Unicorn Gundam. I was actually thinking of that, but it's the other one, the was it Katayuska? Is it the green one with the sort of wings and stuff? I really like the look of that. I know it doesn't get much happening in the series, or it does. It
Yeah.
kicks ass, but it's just I've not seen a model. I don't know if I probably have to like hunt through like the Japanese, like the proper sort of like authentic Japanese suppliers, but
Yeah.
to get a real nice one. But then it depends on how much that's going to cost, because those kits can be from reasonable to like I might as well buy another 40-year-old Titan.
Yeah, yeah, I could see. I thought there's some reasonable prices on some of those, like the smaller kits for the Gundams and stuff.
No, sorry, Engine Phil. I gave up on anime after seeing Urasaki Doji. Um, yeah, that's the Legend of the Overfiend is not for the light-hearted.
Oh, that was, dude. That is old. Wait, I went to a rental. I was renting movies with a VCR, and I would swear that one was at a Blockbuster, dude. I went to rent an anime at Blockbuster, and there was Overfiend in the box. So that I think was at the early days. I'd have to see. I didn't even know that's the name and whatever, but it was Overfiend. I was like, oh wow, like they really went for it with this one.
Yeah,
and then I don't know what happened with that movie, but I remember it was like at a Blockbuster, one of the more popular ones. I'm like, you seriously got? We went and watched it, and I was like, wait, what? Because it didn't like really say what was in it. It was like one of those, like they just have their standard box with the thing, and I was like, oh, Overfiend, and it was like a little,
yeah,
a little more than what I was expecting.
yeah. I think that went a little bit too far. Like I watched about 20 minutes of it. I just thought, oh my, it wasn't doing it for me. As I said, Akira, it was Bubblegum Crisis was my big fix back
Okay.
getting in. Ultimate Teacher, Wicked City was really good. I won a series, but it was just a one-off film. But
Wait,
I really
everyone says, I think, I don't know, I might be totally wrong here. I don't know if it's anime even. I think Howl's Moving Castle or something.
yeah, Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
He'd done obviously loads of like Poco Rocco, House Moving Castle. Uh,
Okay, because I always hear good stuff about that. I'm like, all right, I gotta
Princess
check it out.
Mononoke is really cool. Um, and Spirited Away, which won loads of awards when it came out.
Yep, I heard of that too.
Yeah, no, Studio Ghibli is a very unique sort of styling he has.
Yeah.
They have doing that, but they're really nice stories as well, and it's enjoyable. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
how old you are, you can enjoy a Studio Ghibli film.
Okay,
Um,
yeah. Oh, there was a good one that was, I liked it. It was kind of a Christmas one, and Christmas ones aren't necessarily my thing, but it was like it came out on Netflix, and it wasn't like your standard Christmas. It was more like, what was it based on? It was really good animation, though. I'll have to figure out the name, but it was really good because I think it was European, maybe Russian or whatever, and they did such a, because I've hung out in these forests in like real life, and they have like um the birch trees and that, and they did such a good job of capturing some of the subtle things of like the daytime and how the snow and the fog was in those woods and stuff. And it's like a clean kind of like simple style, but it was brilliantly animated. I'll have to figure out what that was.
Yeah. So I think before I sort of adventures into sort of anime, it was the main one that I enjoyed watching over here was Battle for the Planets, which
Yeah.
was
Oh yeah. Yeah.
with the G-force as it. No, was it? No, it was. I think it was Japanese G-force.
Oh, okay. So Toby says anything animated is anime in Japan. Disney is anime. See, now I got some Japanese culture, so I can learn something. So I appreciate it. Like this.
You learned
And if I don't learn, I'll be like, "Hey, I gotta ask Toby because I don't remember." I'll probably talk about something with him like 3 times, and then
Jason the World Warriors, as Toby was saying there as well. That was another one that was on a Saturday, Sunday morning. You could watch Jason the World Warriors as a kid. Um, D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds. Um, the Mysterious Cities of Gold as well, which was about obviously Spaniards
yeah,
going over to South America and stealing all the gold.
I still remember. I loved the animation, and I maybe a few years ago I watched an episode or two, and it still in my mind held up. The Robotech when they used to draw those explosions and like the stuff running and that gosh that I still like that still sticks in my mind when I try to like draw an explosion or something. You know what I mean? It's like that one really just stuck in my mind with how to do like action packed explosions or gunfire or whatever. I think I always like revert to that or something. It's just funny that how deep that one stuck in my mind with that. That was great. My favorite was um probably Galaxy Rangers. I love that one.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little half obscure one to some, but it was brilliant. I liked it. Very comic booky to me.
yeah, but I think I know it. I'm not sure. Now I'm going on to like raccoons, and then there's like there was the wuzzles, and other. There was this. I think it was a French one called Watu Watu, which was this bird. It was a very weird looking bird called Watu Watu, and basically it was someone narrating the story of how he would go around, and it was saved a day by doing this thing where he would sing a certain song, flap its wings in a certain way, and
Yeah.
then basically like by doing this he made hundreds of Watu Watus, and
Oh
then they done stuff
wow.
to save the.
Toby just said Jason the Wheeled Warriors, and I haven't heard that in a long time. Wow. I just made me slightly remember that show.
As yeah, what was the other ones that was um, there was a Robo Story, which was some little girl who was on a in a space, got trapped on a spaceship and landed on this planet full of inhabited by robots. And there's the good robots, which all look weird and kooky and all that. And then
Yeah.
you had stormtrooper type robots, and they had um, its leader was basically like Darth Vader, but
Hmm.
short, and he was white. So all the it's like the stormtroopers were like black,
Short Vader.
and then you had white dude. He was called White Rick, and he was in charge, but he was inept at what he did. And basically, his supervisor, his boss, or whatever, always used to remind him every episode that, and remember, White Wriggler, you are the lowest of the low. Oh, well, that's a confidence boost for you.
Yeah.
Ulysses 31, as Phil put it, Ulysses 31, which obviously was based on Odysseus, but in space
Oh yeah.
and stuff, which was cool. And they had one of the most kick-ass sort of theme tunes as well, Ulysses. Um,
Yeah.
there is a Japanese 40k player who painted a squad of intercessors up as Super Sentai Power Rangers colours. He then adds filters and texts to images and posts and stories with them every day. See? Boy's got skills.
Yes.
He models explosions and smoke clouds out of clay and paints them. They're really cool, anime-esque explosion clouds. Yeah, so they're putting the work in, and it pays off.
Yeah. Such is life.
I was going back to earlier on. Where is it? 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 Echo was asking if anybody knows any good color schemes for warp spiders.
You know what? I haven't seen a warp spider in quite a while, to be honest. Are they still doing? They have probably haven't had a remodel in a long time, have they?
No, no. Elder Guardians are like 20 years old.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, warp spiders. They might have had one because I had them when they first came out in the early 90s.
Yeah, the metal ones with the yeah.
Yeah, mine was with red with black carapace and white helms. I think it was, which was the color they had released when they first came out. So
Yeah.
uh, Saber Rider and his
That's
starship.
my glories. Oh gosh, it's already been an hour and a half, and I got some stuff to do this evening. I might not be on too much. We'll give it to the next 10 minutes, and then I probably gotta get going here. Unfortunately, that is a quick hour and a half. I can't believe that.
Yeah, time flies when you're having
I
fun.
know that was good. I got a little bit done. I got some stuff done. Was able to talk.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, and I'll
Yeah,
finish. I'm gonna
yeah.
finish some up later. I'll
Like
get
that
to finish.
there, like now you've got the blossom falling as well. It's just like it's pure awesome.
Run it out of there. And a nice little. I thought that one was really cool. That was a good concept.
Mm.
See it all the time. And you're streaming Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, usual 8 o'clock slot.
Word.
Cocktails. Yeah, obviously after last weekend with the trolls, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I was surprised you even had troll. I'm like, how do we get trolls? We're not even like some big
I
channel.
know. Yeah, no troll guarantee. Hopefully, touch wood.
Yeah, toffee troll's the only troll we need.
Yeah, that's the only troll we permit in here. No other trolls.
Toby, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. The all the shares and likes they add up. I got some good kind of stuff going on maybe that I don't even want to like jinx myself really by fully talking about yet, but I got some AE plans that I would totally laugh if they come to fruition. So there'll be a lot of good stuff. Like,
You're sitting there
at
in
this point,
your
this whole
chamber.
AE thing just it's like it all just makes me laugh because it's just so much further along than I thought any of this would even go. So I was like, I don't even know how far this can go. I'm like, I'll try something. Let's just see what happens. So anywho, that could be something fun. So I just wanted to say, like, thanks to everyone for doing that, like stopping by a chat and everyone always helps out with like, spreading the word, the free paint over day and stuff. So that's making some big difference for me. So I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's doing good. As soon as and then the dog is staring at me right now. He's like, dude, I didn't bug you this whole time for an hour and a half. It's time. So he's got this stare like, you know what I want. He doesn't even have to talk or say it. He pushes the door open because I don't have it fully shut, and so he just pushes the door open and sits right at the edge and stares. And that's all. It's like how I don't even know who trains who with dogs. I think they train humans more than we train them.
there's more cats. Cats train humans to do their bidding.
Yeah,
Um, Dogs are just happy to be there.
it is true. They have their different personalities. Dogs just
Yeah,
not sharks with lasers on their heads, is it? No.
looking lasers.
And Toby, no worries. I always appreciate it if you do with the Ko-Fi, but you don't have to. But I do appreciate it. The white scar looks beautiful, fall with the falling blossoms. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a little more, and then I'll sleep on it for a night, and then I kind of see what settles in. If I think I really have to, do some extra or whatever, and then I do it. So But appreciate everyone stopping by. I'm going to finish up a few things on these tonight, and I think we'll call it a show here. Even though I hate, it was like 10 concurrent viewers. Like I don't even want to. I noticed too the quote unquote like successful streamers, like they're going for a while, you know what I mean? They'll go like 4 or 5 hours, and like that traffic adds up, and then it starts coming in. Like we have 11 now. It's like I should be going for another hour or something, just do some new stuff and go from there. But
Dog needs a toilet.
yeah, yeah, so
I need a poop.
yeah, he's like, I don't care what your life is going on or how many viewers you got, shut it down, boy. So, thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to go take care of that. And Lee, anything in closing?
No, I think everything's been covered
Mm,
adequately this evening. We've done obviously films, we've done anime,
yeah.
we've done,
Shows. We were late on 40K. We were a little light on 40K today, but we'll just.
yeah, yeah. There was a few.
That's allowed. We're heavy on it usually.
Yeah, well, we say you got 40K on the screen.
Yeah,
We
very
won't
true.
be talking about it, but it's
Good evening, all. Thanks again, Toby. Appreciate it. Talk to you all.